Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and today is August the 14th. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our H.O.O.D recovery services. I'm going to do your just for today in a meditation. Looking forward to that. How are you doing? I hope that you're doing good. I'm getting by. I mean, every day is not great with this pain, but I am getting by, and my mind and my heart, my spirit are in very good moods. So I'll take it. I'll take it as a win, right? Let's go ahead and share the screen. If you need to reach me, please do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Okay, I can never figure out where to put this little thing. So let's move it down here. I think we have room today. Okay, August 14th. Wow, letting go of our limitations. We don't have to settle for the limitations of the past. We can examine and re-examine our old ideals. Basic text, page 11. Most of us come to the program with a multitude of self-imposed limitations that prevent us from realizing our full potential, limitations that impede our attempts to find the values that lie at the core of our being. We place limitations on our ability to be true to ourselves, limitations on our ability to function at work, limitations on the risk we're willing to take. The list seems endless. If our parents or teachers told us we would never succeed and we believed them, chances are we didn't achieve much. If our socialization taught us not to stand up for ourselves, we didn't, even if everything inside us was screaming to do so. In Narcotics Anonymous, we are given a process by which we can recognize these false limitations for what they are. Through our fourth step, we'll discover that we don't want to keep all the rules we've been taught. We don't have to be the lifelong victims of past experiences. We are free to discard the ideals that inhibit our growth. We are capable of stretching our boundaries to encompass new ideals and new experiences. We are free to laugh, to cry, and above all, to enjoy our recovery. Just for today, I will let go of my self-imposed limitations and open my mind to new ideals. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like that. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the wee version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Letting go of our limitations. I feel like this is a work in progress. And there's some pieces in here that are definitely the majority of the time true, right? Depending on how you were raised, sort of determines how you respond to certain situations. So if you were taught that you not to stand up for yourselves, don't rock the boat, keep the peace, then you have a tendency as an adult to try to do the same things the majority of the time. However, I do know some people that have in recovery overcome those childhood rudimentary type foundations. And they've gone on to do great exploits in their adult life. And a lot of that was reconditioning their mind, sort of washing the brain that they grew up with, and then pouring in positive, effective, communal type beliefs, changing a lot of their core values. And it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, to go from the victim past just being the survivor to being the victor, right? Victorious. And so I just want to say that, yeah, a lot of times this is the case. but a lot of times it's not. If you're finding yourself struggling in a particular situation, and it seems like no matter how old you get, the situation comes up and you still have the same type of responses. They trigger you, they shut you down. It could be that you have some post-traumatic stress disorder attached to that, right? To that one experience. And now anything that's sort of similar takes your mind, drags you back through the past, and your old responses become your new responses. And this beast of negativity is being increased in muscle and size every time you have a similar encounter and you respond the same. So our job as recovering individuals is to look at that and decide, like when you're doing your fourth step, look at those circumstances, look at those situations. Maybe one or two, it may be a lot, but to look at them and for you to say, what would my life be like? You know, in counseling, we call it the recovery, not the miracle question, right? What would my life be like if that had never happened to me? Think about it. For some men, it may be, what would my life be like if my mother had not passed away when I was 3? What would my life be like if I had not been beaten by my dad? It could be, what would my life be like if I had not started drinking with my neighbors at the age of 9? Okay. So the miracle question is, what would your life be like if thus and so had not happened to you? Okay. And then for some women, it may be different, but very similar. You can rewrite the question, or you can make the question whatever you want it to be, right? It's not important that I give you the wording, but I'm just trying to give you the ideal of what that question looks like. For me, what would my life have been like if I had not been a victim of incest? Okay. At such an early age. Well, I probably would be, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of almost to where I need to be, right? But I sort of be a lot more trusting of individuals than I am. So figure out what that incident or incidents, what they were, and then what would your life be like if that had not happened? Okay. Now take the two polar opposites, where you are now, what your life would be like if those things had not happened. On the left-hand side are the things that your life is like right now, and it incorporates your limitations. What your life would be like if those things had not happened. On the right-hand side incorporates your life without those limitations. So for those people that are doing great exploits now, then is it possible to believe that your life would be even greater than it is currently, even though it's wonderful? I mean, there's got to be some area in your life that you are still living status quo to. There's got to be some area that you still have limitations in, and that's what we want to look at. I'm not really trying to pick out the things that you're doing great. I'm really trying to get you to focus on where the limitations are and how your past life helped develop those limitations and what recovery of that area should look like for you today. So hopefully that's clear for you. I think it's a very interesting topic, because I think that we're always needing to stretch our boundaries, as long as we're not imposing on other people. And haters don't count, right? People that don't want good for you anyway, people that, they're jealous of the things that you've accumulated as a result of your hard work. Those people don't count in this situation, right? But we don't want to impose on other people or harm other people as we climb the success ladder, right? We don't want to be guilty of doing that, because then whatever you have is just going to be temporary anyway. You have to do the right thing. Remember, service work, do the right thing for the right reasons. So I hope that that helps you. I hope today that you will see that you're free to laugh, you're free to cry, and you're free to enjoy your recovery and your discovery, right? Because you're going in recovery, you're going to continually discover who you are more and more and more. And never think, as of August 14th this year, never think that who you say you are today is going to be the same person that you are next year. Never think, or even the next day, because technically life happens, and our role is to be able to accept life on its own terms. We don't have to mask our emotions anymore. We don't have to change outcomes or manipulate outcomes anymore, right? But whatever happens, our goal is to be in a position of stability with our recovery, right? That we are able to maintain the ground. And even if we lose a little ground, if you were to lose a loved one in death or something, you were really close to them, a child, a mother, a husband, a wife, something like that, is in the top 5 stressors, right? Divorce is in the top 5 stressors. Loss of a job is in the top 5 stressors. Loss of relationship due to death, right? So these are things that universally people suffer. And as they suffer, things do change, and they are going to change who you are moving forward, right? But our job is to be able to make the adjustment with the knowledge that we have, the willingness that we have, right? The honesty that we have, the open-mindedness, and the willingness, right? The how of the program, we should be able to make the needed adjustments, right? The needed adjustments in order to get ourselves through that with as incurring as little loss as possible, right? Maybe you're a person, you go through storms, but you incur great losses. You end up having to start again, you lose your belongings. The people that said they keep your stuff for you, they lie, they sell it off, they throw it away. Maybe when you incur losses, you have to start all over. And I want you to know that that has an impact, because people that continually lose on that level, they get to the point where they don't want to gain anything. They might try to do something, but they're no longer interested in having the stability of having a home, a car, a job. They lose that desire because they've had so many losses. They don't know how long it will last. So here's the thing. If that's you, we need to get you to the point where you stop losing, right? We need to get you to the point where you stop having to face life on other people's terms. You can face it on your own terms, but to start with, you need to get clear thinking, right? The first thing is stop using, and to treat every day like it's your first day of not using, to treat it like it's your precious belonging that you never want to lose again. And as you accumulate the wisdom that comes with being in recovery and working the steps and having interaction with your network, your sponsor, and stuff like that, and developing your spirituality to the point where it is doable. You never want your ideal of spirituality to be so high and mighty that you're no earthly good, right? You don't ever want that opinion or that goal of yours to be so perfected that nobody can, not even you, can reach it, right? It has to be something that is practical, and when it's practical, it is spiritual. And I know these are all terms that you have heard before, lingo that you've heard in recovery before. And the reason why they roll out of my mouth so easily is because they're my life, right? They are incorporated into who I am. I don't even have a second thought anymore. When a storm comes, my mind doesn't set, I might use, I don't even think about that. That's not what comes to my mind. What comes to my mind is how can I barrel down and make sure that I go through this storm with as little hits as possible, with as few losses as possible, and safeguard myself and my family, right? And my relationship, obviously, with God. I hope that helps you. Today is going to be a beautiful day for you. You have to let go of your self-imposed limitations and open your mind to new ideas. Do what you can do with what you have. And as you stay consistent with that, you will see that more is added to you, right? So take care and have a beautiful day. And I will be talking to you tomorrow.